I've just looked at Burnley ahead of the game tomorrow, okay? And I've got to say, I'm not mocking my opponent, actually, but I'm just a bit gobsmacked at how bad the form was. I didn't think it was this bad. They haven't won a Premier League game all of 2024. The last time they won was just before Christmas, and that was a 2-0 away win at Fulham. And the only other 2 times they won was against Sheffield United, where they won 5-0, and Luton Town. So teams that were pretty much around them. David Moyes has spoken about how well Vincent Kompany has done at Burnley, having achieved promotion with the Clarets last season. However, he's starting to find the dizzy heights of the Premier League quite a struggle. Kompany's team has managed to become a little more consistent in scoring lately, but in the last 3 games, his side has conceded 10 goals, and that's in 3 games, and scored 0. And you thought West Ham was bad at the start of the year. We at least scored some goals and got a couple of points. This lot haven't. They've only obtained 2 points since the turn of the calendar year. So, in theory, you know what that means, don't you? It means West Ham's going to freaking lose. That's what it means. Because I can see us buggering it up. When you see things like this happen, you know in the back of your mind West Ham's going to do something to make this absolutely catastrophically bad. But I like to think positively, as James Fever said on The Space the other day. So, here's what I'm thinking. We go out and we just attack them from the off, or we smash and grab again. Personally, I prefer the smash and grab because it adds to the intensity. But if we attack from the off, it's not really very David Moyesy, is it? Speaking ahead of our game tomorrow, I can see a change being made in the midfield. And I wouldn't be against sticking Calvin Phillips in the middle as a starting player. This is because, even though he didn't feature for a long length of time in the game in Germany, Phillips came on and maintained a very composed attitude while he was on the pitch. When we last played Burnley at Turf Moor, we didn't look all that composed, and this resulted in West Ham being the first team to concede in that game. However, West Ham did win the game 2-1 thanks to a late Thomas Souček winger. Now, if we're going to be composed on the ball, we need Phillips there just to keep the flow steady. I think this is something we don't do a lot in the middle. We don't keep the flow steady enough. And if you really think about it, we need that. We need someone to be quite, steady, not someone who's too far ahead of the curve. I think we do have a good chance of this game. And I've just thought about something as well. Whenever people talk about Burnley, they talk about that 3-0 defeat in 2018 where a fan ran onto the pitch and picked up the corner flag, and the incident in which Mark Noble took a fan to the ground. That was a dark day at the club's history, and that's never going to go away. It's never going to go away. But it's one thing Burnley always thinks about. It's what Burnley and West Ham remember happening. Here's the other thing as well. This is a Burnley side that's done things a little bit differently over the summer window. It's not really used a stringent budget and signed a couple of players everywhere. It's gone out and spent a little bit of money to sign some other players in the team. In fact, 5 players came in on loan at the same time, which was pretty good for them. They signed players such as Amundi, who joined from Basel for £16 million. James Trafford, obviously, joined for £15 million. Sander Berge joined for 12 mil. Aaron Ramsey joined for 14 mil. It's quite a bit of money to spend, actually. Dare I say, Shea as well, joined for £7 million. That's more of a Burnley kind of price range. It's not them to spend a mass amount of money in a transfer window. Sean Dyche certainly didn't, but Kompany did it because he wanted to give his team a chance in the Premier League, and so far it's not paid off. I think the last 10 games will be difficult for Burnley, in all honesty, and this is not, and I repeat, not by any means a free hit for West Ham. But if we're not going to be composed on the ball, and we're not going to play with a high level of intensity, then we're just going to make it harder for ourselves.